I'm Colin Barr from Fortune. I'm here with Dick Steinke. He's of the Port of Long Beach, and it's the largest, one of the largest container ports in the United States. We've been talking about the economic situation, and you guys have been surprised, I think, by how quickly trade has picked up in the last year.
Yeah, we are surprised. I think we're a pretty good barometer of the economy, and for the last 8 months, our trade has increased about 22% coming through the Port of Long Beach. So it's some pretty robust numbers given the dismal year we had last year.
One of the things that's remarkable is that actually, in terms of just the volume that you're dealing with, we're actually coming up on 2007 levels, which is something that you have said that you didn't think you'd get there for a few more years.
Yeah, very surprising again. I think a lot of the economists, a lot of the people that were doing reviews on where we were and where we were going would have predicted that it would have taken to 2012, 2013 to get us back up to 2007 levels. We're not quite there yet, but the recent trend shows that we're going to get there sooner than a lot of people predicted.
Now that's an interesting point because things are going pretty well. Trade obviously is good. It creates all kinds of jobs throughout the economy. And yet you actually are not at a point where you're coming up on any kind of bottleneck really in terms of dealing with it. You have a lot of, I guess, for coming years, assuming that things keep going the way they are, you still have the ability to take on more volume.
We do. I think most ports across the country have significant latent capacity, and Long Beach is a good example. I think we're probably at 60-65% capacity, but what we want to do now is build for the future. We don't want to get ourselves in a position where we're behind the curve. We want to position ourselves for growth in the future.
And I guess to that end, you're in the middle of $1 billion project that'll help you deal with the expansion that you see coming in the next decade or two.
Yeah, we've got several projects. One of our most important projects is replacing an old bridge. It's called the Gerald Desmond Bridge. It's about $1 billion project. Financing package is almost completed, and we could be in construction about this time next year. So we're looking forward to doing that work. The bridge isn't big enough. It's not wide enough. About 15% of the nation's cargo goes across that bridge. So it's a significant national asset, and we need to keep sure that that bridge carries enough cargo in the future.
And I guess one of the issues that we'll be dealing with for coming years here is how our trade relationship with China goes. Obviously, China is a big contributor to the volume that you guys have, and both imports and exports. And obviously, there's a lot of talk about that. I mean, tell me how you look at that whole issue. Well,
obviously, our growth over the past several years has been a result of an increase with trade with China, and about over 50% of our imports are from China. So it's a significant player. That relates directly into jobs for longshore workers and truck drivers and warehouse workers, everybody in the goods movement industry. So to the extent that trade decreases, it means a significant decrease in jobs at our port and other ports on the U.S. West Coast.
And I guess that you are not obviously a forecaster. You don't have a crystal ball with you. If you did, we'd put it right here. But I guess from what you've seen, September, it looks like it was a pretty good month, and you haven't seen anything that suggests to you that we're facing anything. There's a lot of talk out there, a lot of kind of doom and gloom talk. I guess you've seen no sign of that from your perspective anyway.
We haven't seen it yet. We don't have September numbers in. They seem to be trending the same way that August was trending. I think later we get into the year, I think most of the retailers have already brought in their cargo for the holiday season. Once we get to the new year, I think we'll have a better indication of how sustained this really is. We're obviously hoping for the trend to keep going up, and time will tell. And we don't have that crystal ball, but we're hoping for good things.
Good. Thanks for your help, Nick.
Thank you, Colin.